this is very interesting to say the least. We have a computer by CyberPower, but it's got some components you would not expect from a pre-built. Down here, power supply, EVGA Supernova, 1050 watt, 80 plus gold. Looks like a fully modular power supply. Do we got anything else hiding up in here? Oh, we do. Samsung SSD, A50 Evo, 500 gigabyte. Alright. It's pretty solid. 3 intake fans. So we got some kind of Asus graphics card. Oh, that's an AIO. Oh, that's a 3-fan AIO. We got some kind of Intel socket CPU. Maximus IX. I believe this is an Asus ROG. Yep, right there. It's paired with an Asus graphics card. And if we look for some sort of identification, GTX right here. GTX 1080 8GB model. Oh, that sticker's wet with something. Huh, interesting. You might be asking yourself, well, what the fuck? What is this? What's so special about this thing, huh? We got 2 8GB sticks. Now you might be asking, oh, what's so fucking special about this? You know, this is just some dated gaming computer. Well, what's so special about this computer is this was sitting in a junkyard getting ready to go into the shredder. Just sitting out, hanging out, not doing much. This caught my eye. This is a Gamerstorm AIO. Never heard of Gamerstorm. Judging by that, I think I already know what's wrong with this computer. Before anything, I need to take out you and evaluate how much of this mystery liquid that I'm pretty sure is cat urine has gone onto the computer. I can see down here you got some kind of streak dripping right where the power supply goes. Motherboard looks mostly untouched, so I'm going to pop out the graphics card. I'm going to see what processor's hanging out here. I'm going to set my phone on a stand, start tearing into this shit. Intel i7-7700. Wow. Now I'm actually really hoping that this board does work and everything. It's a pretty good looking card. This might be savable. It's going to require some thorough cleaning. Taking a closer look at the motherboard, I'm not seeing any signs of any type of liquid contamination or water damage. What the fuck is this? What is this? Seriously? Oh, it's probably a hub for all the fans. Not seeing anything burnt out, nothing obvious at least. Retry, safe boot, reset. That's a cool ass board to have dedicated buttons for that shit. Alright, let's get that cooler out. Intermax. Fucking double stack that. What is this? Sandpaper? I don't know what the fuck that is. Were these used as intake fans? No, these were used as exhaust fans. What kind of psychopath put this fucking... Look at that shit. They use this as an exhaust. It's a lot of screws to go through. Ooh, I'm gonna pull out that power supply first. I do gotta say, I'm really excited to see the EVGA power supply. As far as I know, EVGA has stopped making shit entirely for quite some time now. And growing up, to me, EVGA was the shit that, like, it was the elite brand of cards to use. Well, cards. In general, all their components. The power supplies, the coolers. The first power supply I ever wanted was some EVGA power supply that I could just never afford. I have no idea which one it was now, but that's in the past. I got something pretty cool now, so. It's been a long time since this shit came out. So far, so good. It's never been opened. I'm not seeing any indication of liquids being spilt on this thing. It smells like cinnamon. What the fuck? Like, I'm sniffing here and it smells like cinnamon. I'm not smelling anything burnt or nasty, so that's a really good sign. Terrible recording angle, but oh well. What I don't like, what I'm seeing here, is the tops of these screws are rusty. See, there's rust building up on these. I think these fans were spinning at each other, and virtually no airflow was happening because of that. Look at the size of that beast. Why are they in alternating configurations? Alright, I just gotta finish pulling out the rest of these wires, removing the rest of the fans, strip it down to the bare chassis, and I'm gonna thoroughly clean this thing. So the first component we're going to be testing is the SSD that we pulled from the computer. I'm going to be utilizing my hot swap bay, and you might be wondering, well, you got a full-size hot swapping bay. We have the smaller form factor SSD, so what are you going to use? I'm going to use this thing. This was for a Western Digital. You actually see right there, it's an actual Western Digital adapter plate for these mini ones to full-size form factor. I'm going to be using two programs, Crystal Disk Info and the partition viewer tool from Windows. So let's get those fired up. Alright, our system recognizes the drive, and we have... Okay, that's perfect. So we're gonna go to Function, we're gonna go to Rescan. It's gonna show up as the F drive. Oh, 4 years, 121 days, 8 hours. So far, it has written 26 terabytes. I'm not sure if I trust this smart report status. Ooh. Oh. Ooh, that is... Ouch! That is a lot of personal information. That is not their phone number. That is their full name. That is their full home address. This is why, if you're ever throwing away your computer, you need to either destroy the drive or keep it or manually write it 3 times over, like zero fill it 3 times over. Okay. That's just them. That's just straight up them. Alright, that's enough fucking snooping around. Let's fucking format this thing. It's not a secure erase, but it's better than nothing. Alright, let's get that fucking... Let's get that out of here. So the next thing we're going to test is the power supply. So how we're going to test this power supply, it's actually quite simple. Dedicated power supply tester, it's a very simple thing. It just tells you whether or not all the lines are reading the voltage correctly. If you don't have this tool at home, you can actually test it yourself. It's not that difficult. You just have to be able to read the pinout diagram. And also you need to tell the power supply to actually turn on. And there is these 2 pins that are responsible for that. So look at the board. I'm sorry, look at the cable right here. You see how you have the right here? Fairly certain these 2 right next to the clip are it. One is ground and the other is a power supply on signal. When you've jumped those 2 pins, I could be wrong, it's been a while since I had to do this, but you'll jump those 2 pins together and you'll take a ground and a multimeter and just measure all the voltage rails. You have 12 volts, 5.5, 3.3 or something like that. This tool right here does all that stuff automatically, so all you have to do is just plug it in, making sure I'm on the right side here. Let's make sure the power supply's on. I'm ignoring this one. Most of the time power supplies won't have this. That's good. Usually they don't have either of these. Usually only measures the positive signal, but you can see right here. Consistent 12 volts, consistent 3 volts, and consistent 5 volts. As for what this is and this is, I'm not totally sure, but what matters to me the most is these 3 figures right here. So the power supply is reading good. That gives me very good insight on the computer itself. Since the power supply is running good, that is a really good grounds to assume that the motherboard never really experienced any kind of power surges or any sort of catastrophic failures. That is, you know, stuff that would be like power related, you know, like shit burning up, because with power surges, things fail, things burn up, and usually a bad power supply could point to a motherboard damage. But since our power supply is testing good, which I'm really happy that it is, then that gives us some hope with that motherboard. Alright, y'all are not gonna like what I have in store for this graphics card. Alright, let's take a quick look here. As far as I can tell, it's never been opened. Well, let's change that. So it's got that weird thermal pad sweat going on, but I'm not seeing anything that's particularly wrong or out of place, besides this mystery liquid that's on the board. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a gentle brush, soap and water, go over the entire thing, front to back, and make sure I have all these plugs out so moisture can't get trapped inside. That's not all. That's not all. Then I'm going to douse the entire thing in isopropyl alcohol and leave the board out to dry. Personally, I have always just left this on a heater and waited like 30 minutes to an hour at most, and I've never had a problem doing that. For this, I'm just going to dust it off. Of course, I'm going to repaste it. I have this MX6 thermal paste by Arctic. The intention behind it is so that in the event where mystery fluid got underneath these chips, the soap will be able to rinse it out. The soapy water will be able to lift up that shit. Isopropyl alcohol is there to solute into the water and help it rinse and dry faster. Enough fucking around. Let's get this over with. Ton of waterboard this thing like it owes me money. This is the brush I'll be using. I think I got this at O'Reilly's Auto Parts. For the second rinse, so I'm really just dousing the shit out of this board everywhere I can. Think of where water's gotten, just let water fall off. I'm gonna pay some extra special attention to those ICs. I guess I should call them by their actual names, the GPU die and the memory modules. Paying extra attention to those, so that way the alcohol washes underneath the grid. It's gonna grab any water left over. Because the beauty about isopropyl alcohol is it's not conductive. So if anything gets trapped, it'll mostly be alcohol, which is a lot better than water. Isopropyl alcohol is pretty similar with how gasoline dries. The more air that can push away the vapors, the faster that the vapors will travel off the liquid. I might be wrong with that science. I can't quite remember it. Can't quite remember the chemistry behind it, but it could be that me blowing on it gives it a bit more heat energy, allowing it to dry faster, or it could be the displacement of vapors is causing it to dry out faster. I'm not 100% sure, but my point stands, basically. So right here, I washed off the case. See, it looks a lot cleaner now. Got all that washed off. I still got to do the front cover, but that was probably about an hour ago, and that's all already dry. This is dried. Just to note, very interesting. This weird oily shit doesn't seem to really want to go anywhere. My fingerprint kind of does something. I don't know. It's really fucking weird, but I've seen this before, and I kind of just lived with it, and everything ended up being fine. I forgot to dust this off. What the fuck is this? Like liquid metal? Talk about imperfections in the fucking cast. What is this? Oh, it's all dried thermal paste. Dude, this shit was so like fucking... Look at this shit. I thought that was like the fucking like casting or machining quality for a sec. No, this thermal paste is just fucking ancient. Oh my god, I almost don't want to fucking bother cleaning this. I wonder if electronics cleaner will ship it straight off. Apparently it does. Apparently this shit cleans thermal paste right off. Okay. It's crazy how in a 1080, it still used this very simple 4-corner tiny screw with springs to clamp the heatsink down. I just find that very interesting. You know, this is a very old way of how they've thrown together these cards. It's just crazy to see something on something so legendary, you know? What the fuck is that? Is there a label here? Why is this all fucked up? I should probably take a look at this. I don't know how I didn't notice that before. There's actually a ton of corrosion on here. Oh, fuck, I hope the solder joints don't look like that. The solder joints underneath the, PCB shit. Let's see. How do you react to... Well, that pretty much instantly cleaned it away. That's pretty fucking concerning. Well, I think I know what killed this board. I wonder if I should blast them onto the underneath the chips and like where this corrosion shit is on the other side. It's actually the contact pads for the DVI port. Alright, well that's done. Hopefully I saved this 1080 Ti from the grave. I don't know. I guess, shit, honestly, I guess at this point I could just throw the damn thing back together and see what happens. Alright. Alright, I got this shit plugged into my main monitor because I don't have anywhere else to fucking plug it in. Alright, there's just... Oh, we got something. Got life. Got shit going on. Well, that fan's spinning. 30... Are we posting? VGA. Oh, that just went. No shit. What? No fucking way. Okay, see, this fan isn't working, so this thing's gonna like fucking overheat instantly. So, this keyboard plugged in. Yeah. There's so many fucking wires in the way. Oh, it's getting hot. Ah, it's getting hot. I gotta kill it. Well, I gotta install drivers and actually put a load on this fucking thing to actually like make sure that it works, but shit, it works. I'm gonna go through the display port. Right, shit's falling and breaking. Power. See the bubbles flowing. We got a post. You fucking do anything automatic repair related, I will cut you. I fucking hate this browser. Fuck off. Oh, I didn't want that one. Yeah, whatever. Let's try this. Undeterminable. Ow, I'm blind. It seems to be doing okay. Temperature's not spiking too much. Temps are pretty consistent, actually. No crashing, no glitching. Nothing that would indicate a dying GPU. Temps aren't really going up either. Yeah, that's, shit. I'd call that good. It's pretty cool that everything in this computer works perfectly fine. I have no solid idea as to why the previous owner of this computer decided to throw it away. Let's change the scenery while I yap. Yeah. So, I have no idea why they threw this computer away. I guess, judging by the corrosion that was on the board, specifically where the DVI port pins were, something was shorting, they couldn't get a display out, and for some reason they decided the best course of action was to just junk the whole thing. And in the end, I'm really glad I was able to save everything. You know, this being an i7th, what gen? The i7-70, the 7th gen i7, isn't that thing like legendary? It's either this, I think it was the 7th and 8th generation i7 that was just fucking legendary at the time. I don't know what they were thinking. My sister. She can, she's currently using my old... I was gonna give her this, actually. This is my old motherboard. Gigabyte, let me see if I can remember off the top of my head. It's not like the X... It's like the Z490M Gaming. Oh. Z490M Gaming X right there. This was my board for like the last fucking 4 or 5 years or some shit. I was gonna give her this. I have, this one had the 10105K. She has like the 10050 or some shit. It's like the lower, like somehow this chip, but like lower tier, despite that CPU being bottom of the barrel. That's what she's currently using. I think she'll like this a lot better. According to user benchmark, this thing's just overall better, even it being the base 1080. 44% effective speed, better scores and graphics. I don't give a shit about overclocking scores, but still, you know, I think she'll really appreciate this, going from an i3 paired with a GTX 1660 Super. That'll be the ultimate test. Just let her fuck around with it, see how far that goes. Honestly, I was not expecting it to get this far, despite the apparent good condition all the parts were in. I was expecting the worst. It's in a different life. Anywho, it's about time I end this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you found entertainment in this. See you next time.